Hi, this is Stuart Bruce from Washington College. I'm going to give a lab demonstration for Module B of our 3D animation lesson. First thing you're going to have to do is go to the animation pull-down menu. You're going to load an animation file, and you have in the lesson you can download this ASA file, Module B ASA, which I've already done. If you open up the animation controls and you hit play, this is a short little animation just running down one street in St. Michael's. What would be really handy here, this is actually found out to be true even to people who live in St. Michael's, that it's really helpful to have some labels of some street names appear, and that's what we're going to show you how to do in this lesson. Now if you open the animation manager up, pick the first keyframe, select view, and what we're left with here is our first view, and we want to identify one of these streets. So to identify the street, technically for the lesson you could call it whatever you wanted to, it's just a lesson, but if we use the identify button, you can click on one of the houses and that should identify the street that you're on. So this is a residential, and if I scroll down I'll see that we are on West Chestnut Street. So that'll be the first label that we add. Now I'm going to want that text to appear right here, and what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to use the Graphics Toolbar. So under the Customize toolbars, you make sure you turn on the 3D Graphics Toolbar. Now the way the Graphic Toolbar works, we're going to make a new graphics layer for every piece of text that we're going to put in here. So if we come down and select, actually I'm going to close this, we select Graphics, New Graphics Layer. You'll notice that it appears over here in the table of contents, and we're going to go ahead and call that West Chestnut Street, like that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set the default 3D text properties. So we go ahead and open that up. And there you see that. You can change the text properties. You can also change the size and position. You'll have a chance to use both of these. First thing I'm going to do is change the color. I'm going to make my color evening rose. You can really pick whatever you like. Then I'm going to change the size. I'm going to make the height 20. And I'm not going to adjust anything else here right now. Go ahead and click OK. Then you just go ahead and hit the text button. Click approximately where you want the text to appear. Go ahead and click. And then you'll type in the name of the text. And then simply hit enter. Now you'll note that the text is kind of down near the bottom. We're going to adjust that. So if we click with this tool selected here, we click on the text, right click, open up properties. We're going to go ahead and adjust the Z level. Instead of 31, we're going to make that 50, and that should bump it up some. See how it bumped it up? If you want a little bit higher, you can kind of play around with that, but that looks pretty good. Now if we go ahead and hit play, of course I'm kind of in reverse right now, I'm going to start over again. You can see the text as we pass it. Note that if you rotate your view, notice how the text is just floating over there, okay? Just like that. Now we'll go ahead and add another piece of text. Let's click the identify button again, click on this next street here, see what that street's called. And that street is Talbot Street. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process. We have to create a new graphics layer. I'm going to call that Talbot Street. Here we have to make sure that we have our active graphics layer target set to Talbot, not West Chestnut. Then we go ahead and click our text field, point where we want it, go ahead and click, type in Talbot Street, like so. Hit enter. We want to go ahead and do the same thing. Grab our select graphics. Same thing in terms of raising it up. Right click, go to properties, and our Z scale with 50. We click OK. And unfortunately I did something wrong here. So the problem I had was when I right clicked on Talbot, when you go to properties, if it comes up as 50, the last one, then you should probably cancel out of it, click away, make sure that you're adjusting the properties for Talbot, then you type 50 in like that, click OK, and then you can see how it raised the text as well. So that's pretty simple to put text in. One of the problems that you can have though, and this is what the rest of the exercise is, if you notice I passed Chestnut there, when I pass Chestnut, the text actually is going to disappear. And if you note down here where it gives you the percent, when I am approximately, let's watch this here, I'm approximately 37% in, I can't see Chestnut anymore. The issue that we have is that if you were to loop back in your animation and come the other direction, so I'm going to go ahead and just spin this around and then look at my text, the text stays there. So if I come back the other direction, I'm going to go ahead and just fly through here, then what I see is I see the text in reverse. So the rest of the exercise is all about how you can turn this text on and off. So if you come back the other direction, you don't see it. Now we can control turning this text on and off. If we go into the Animation Manager, we're going to go ahead and change, instead of keyframes of type camera, we're going to change that to layer, like that. And we can actually turn layers on and off at specific times. We're going to go ahead and click the Create button. We're going to make that source will be the West Chestnut Street text. And we're going to go ahead and change the destination track. We're going to call that Chestnut, T for text. And we're going to click New. Then we're going to go ahead and click Create. This gives us then a specific track for Chestnut T text. We actually need to create two layers, one to turn off and one to turn on. Now we're going to make the visibility of the first one no, the second one yes, and what we're going to do is we're going to change the time here. We noted it was about 37%, so we're going to go ahead and adjust this to 0.37 minus 5, and I might get this wrong here, but we'll give it a try. So now if we watch the animation, we're coming down the street, there's no label. The label will turn on here in a second. The label turns on, and then it will turn off. I'm going to work on my timing there a little bit. So there you saw how I adjusted the time. We've got to do the same thing for Talbot Street. So we go ahead and click Create again. This time we're going to name the layer Talbot. We're going to call it Talbot T. Click New. and then we're going to hit create twice. And the first one we're going to make visibility no. And the second one, and I'm going to take a wild guess here, I'm going to have it turn on at 0.48. And we can click close, hit play, and see how we did. So now no labels are on at all. West Chestnut will turn on first. There it is. And then Talbot will turn on. And I might have guessed the wrong, there's Talbot Street. So that's really, you have animation sort of turn on and turn off when you want. So I hope you have some fun with that. When you're all done, what we're going to have you do here, instead of loading an ASA file, your basic final video can be a YouTube, but you don't actually really have to load anything up here. So, a little bit of introduction to animation, and just let me tell you, based on experience, there's hours of entertainment with trying to get this animation just the way that you want. Thanks.